So I'm packing up my whole life in 24 hours. As you can see, I've got boxes behind me, so I've already just started the process, but I thought I'd record everything because as I started to put stuff into boxes, it made me think this is like a proper financial reset. It made me think of all the purchases and money that I spent on things that I never ever used. And my goal here is to get rid of 25% of all of my stuff that I have in this flat. I'm moving to a different part of London, so it is an exciting next chapter, but man, have I been procrastinating about packing. I literally have 2 days until the van arrives that we've hired to move to the next place, so I literally only have today. So at the minute it's 9:30 on a Thursday morning, and I have until about, let's say 6 o'clock before I want to stop and have dinner, so I have quite a chunk of hours here to pack up everything. So if you guys are moving, or if you have so much stuff that you just need a bit of motivation to declutter it, hopefully this video can help you guys, and let's start packing. So the first room was the bedroom. My tactic here was to throw everything from my wardrobe onto my bed so I could see everything all together, and then I could decide what I wanted to donate and what I actually wanted to keep. I got a little bit overwhelmed here pretty much at the start because I didn't realize how many things I had, but also how many nice dresses I had that I never wore. As you can see, I'm wearing leggings and a t-shirt, which was kind of my uniform and has been for the last few months. And I didn't actually realize that I was only wearing a tiny percentage of the wardrobe. I realized I had old Aran jumpers here from Ireland, which were like 100% wool that I never wore. I had these silk pajamas as well. They were also the back of my wardrobe. So I actually had nice things and didn't even realize. And this is so helpful if anyone needs to declutter. Before you actually buy stuff in a shop, make sure you understand what the hell is in your wardrobe first. And a good tip is what I like to do now is to go onto Pinterest and find similar items that I have in my wardrobe to see how I can actually style them together. Next was the sitting room, and oh my god, I kept finding posters here that I paid a lot of money for but never put on the wall. This one here was a Francis Bacon print that I got in like Peckham in South London for like £200, but never put it in a frame because frames are expensive, which is very counterproductive. Then I found an old yoga mat that I never used. It was a cool one though, it's like a foldable one, but man, why am I buying things that I don't even use? At this point my back was getting a bit sore of all the bending up and down, but I was being very cutthroat here. All of these frames that I bought, I just put in the donation pile because do you know what? If I've had them for 2 years and I've never used them, I probably don't need them. At this point, I realised I still had washing I needed to sort out, so I put the bed sheets away and to try and make a little bit more space and to kind of clean as I go, really. I was getting pretty tired at this stage, but I was only a couple of hours in, so I tried to stay hydrated and get back to the task at hand here. I found a load of notebooks. I think I found like 10 hardback notebooks from all of my jobs over the last few years, which for some reason I kept. Also, I found this absolute colossal thing of feckin' wires with old chargers from old laptops that I don't have anymore. So, of course, I decided to donate the ones that were working, but also bin the things that don't even work. Does anyone else do this where you just keep stuff that doesn't even work because you're kind of afraid of where it's going to end up? Like, I have quite a lot of old, like, mobile phones. Next up was candles. I found a lot of scented candles, which I decided to donate. My cat's a little bit shook. She doesn't know what's going on, the poor thing. But she keeps like playing in the bags and like doing zoomies and stuff. So I think she's pretty happy and content to like play in the boxes. But yeah, I'm feeling slightly stressed at this stage. Next was the kitchen, and oh man, it was starting to look like a dump yard in here, so I decided to drop them out to the bin. And then I found Aesop, products that I'd gotten as gifts. These were empty, but I decided I'm going to keep these and just refill it with normal Dove soap. I found these hairdresser scissors, which was actually useful because I need a trim, so I'm going to try and do it myself. Fingers crossed it works okay. At this stage, I needed to have a break and basically roll off all the cat hair that I've accumulated. My cat is the culprit in the background there. Next, I tackled the things I wanted to donate. So these 2 boxes were all the clothes that I was going to give away to family, and these tops as well I was going to give to my mom instead of throwing them away. Next up then, I came back to the feckin' bedroom with the cat here as the project manager to oversee the operation, and I realised I had a lot of storage boxes, and do you know what? I didn't want to throw them away because I'm just going to end up buying more storage boxes for the new place. So I'm going to keep all these, and they're pretty good because a lot of them are like foldable, so they're going to pack up pretty easy. And then I feckin' found this heated blanket, man, and I was like, what the hell do I do with this thing? Because it was really good when I grew up in Ireland and you're absolutely freezing and you just want a little bit of heat to kind of hug you at night, right? But where we live now in London, it's so hot. I don't know if there's any other Irish people watching that have moved to London, but man, the climate here, the weather here is so feckin' different to Ireland. Then, the weird thing is, I found this feckin' nail set which makes shellac nails, and actually it's pretty cute. It's so funny, it's like Christmas morning here. And these are the colours that came with the kit. I literally used this like twice, but I remember when I did use it, the colours actually were pretty nice on my hands. So I think I'm going to keep this. Next up were the bag collection, man. I don't know about you, but I tend to just use the same feckin' handbag all the time. But for some reason I had like 6 handbags here. Now some of them were kind of fancy ones, like if I'm going to a wedding, so I kept those. And then I kept finding art supplies everywhere, like this brush that I hadn't even opened. Like it was still in the feckin' bag, which is crazy. So, note to self, don't buy more stuff for hobbies. Use the stuff that you have first before buying more. Next was the kitchen, man. This was overwhelming. I found 5 bags of pasta that were all opened. 5. And I found 3 jars of peanut butter, all opened, and then 5 of the same spice, paprika. I love paprika, but I don't need 5 spices, right? This was a very overwhelming room, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to be more cutthroat here and give away or bin stuff here that I find. Because I have a lot of utensils, I have an air fryer here, I've got woks, I've got a blender, I've got a microwave that you don't see here. So I try to break down, okay, what do I actually use on a daily basis and what can I give away? And man, with the food, I did not realize I was hoarding so many little bags of like little bits of food. So I really just went through this with a fine-tooth comb and just bin things I didn't need or just put things into one container that I was going to use. These are all the pasta bags. Like how embarrassing is that? Just finish a bag of pasta, Jodie. Stop buying more pasta. It's crazy. So when I finished doing this kitchen, I really realized I need to be stricter with meal plans. I am very good with cooking at home, but I definitely need to check what's in my cupboard before I go and buy more stuff in the shop. Then I found this old bag of popcorn that was actually 2 years out of date, which is crazy. And you can see here I actually put it back without realizing it's out of date. So later in the day, I do actually bin that bag of popcorn. I wasn't going to eat that, no way. I definitely needed a hand from, this is our robot Hoover. This is the best thing ever because you can be multitasking by cleaning one room and then this little Hoover thing is just cleaning the other room for you. I'll leave the link down below. It really wasn't that dear. It was like £100 and honestly it's been a bit of a lifesaver. Then I found this random box of poster packaging. I did want to do a vintage poster business when I was younger and I still kept all the packaging, so I'm going to get rid of those. Then I found all this crazy ass dirt and dust and cat hair, and at this point I was like, man, I need a break. This is ridiculous. I was going to get a cup of tea but then realised, oh man, I actually forgot to brush my teeth. And it was about 1 o'clock at this stage, so I thought, you know what, I better wash my teeth. And at this time I kept looking around and realising, why didn't I ever decorate this bathroom? Finally got a cup of tea, got some toast, sat down. So I've kind of halfway done the bedroom, like one room, and I'm wrecked. It's kind of insane how much stuff I have. Like, I actually had no idea it would take this long. There's just so much stuff. Like, there was so much stuff under the bed. I kind of forgot there was things like on top of the wardrobe as well. There's things like old canvases because I used to be into painting years ago. And I have this weird thing where like I've found loads of art supplies I had no idea I had. And I haven't painted in probably like, I was thinking about it, I think it's nearly 2 years the last time I actually painted. But I do have an easel over there and I do have, paints, I've got pastels, I've got brushes that weren't even like opened, it was still in the bag. So like, it kind of makes you think, it's like, why am I hoarding all this stuff that I love but I never use it? Like, what the hell is that about? I feel like there's some deep psychological thing there that I need to unpick. So I'm going to give it a go. And I think I'm going to set a challenge for myself. Like if I don't use those items in the first month or 2 of living fully in the new space, then I'm just going to bin them or give them away to charity. And all the money that I spent on these things. Like the easel alone was like £85 and I probably used it like 3 times. Like what the hell? Okay, I'm going to carry on with the next room. Pray for me. At this point, I went back to the bathroom. Now, these are all of the products that I had hoarded in the cabinet in here. Now, some of these I do use, but I would say about 70% of them I do not use. Now, things like earbuds, things like nail varnish remover, yes, you need them every now and again, but what I was finding is I had loads of makeup piling up and I actually don't wear that much makeup. I don't wear it to work that much, and if I do, it's very minimal, and this brown bag is literally all that I tend to wear. So I decided to get rid of all the makeup that I found. But this dry shampoo, if no one has tried it, the chlorine or whatever way you say it, it's French, it's so good, really recommended. Same with Bioderma. All the French products are honestly really good. And there was more. I found 4 hairbrushes, which I don't need 4. Like, I barely brush my hair some days. I don't know, is anyone else with me on that? And lots of tanning products, which is crazy because I'm pale as hell. All these things I decided to bin. Next up, I went back to the sitting room. I don't know why I keep going in and out, but this is what I did. And I went to my vase collection. Now, I've said before, I do love vases. It is a bit of a problem, right? But I'm trying to get better with it. And I went through each one and I decided which ones to keep, which ones to get rid of. A lot of them are quite cute, okay, which is my problem. But these were the ones I decided to give away. Super cute, but have just stayed in my cupboard for months, so I realized someone else might as well use them. And this was the final thing. These were all the things that I packed up in a feckin' day. I was really pleased with everything. I was super wrecked, and this was the donation pile. Looks pretty small, but there is a lot of items in there. There's even like tins of paint, Faro and ball paint, there's candles, there's vases, and then these 2 boxes of clothes that I am donating also. I was pretty pleased with being able to pack everything up in less than 24 hours. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully it was helpful. Bye.